When I first read the words of Socrates, I didn't fully understand them. The unexamined life is not worth living. It sounded poetic, philosophical, but it wasn't until I sat alone under a tree one silent afternoon, watching a leaf fall slowly from a branch, that I felt the truth of his words in my bones. We live in a world that encourages action. Move faster, climb higher, achieve more. But Socrates, a man who wore no titles, held no possessions, and walked barefoot through Athens, taught that true power lies not in answers, but in questions. And so I began asking myself, why do I do what I do? Who am I beyond my name, my role, my ambitions? Am I truly living or just surviving? Socrates never claimed to be wise. He simply questioned everything. And in doing so, he exposed the illusion that we already know. He believed wisdom begins with the recognition of our own ignorance. That realization, for me, was liberating. You see, in the monastery, we don't escape the world. We learn to see it more clearly. Silence becomes the mirror in which we meet ourselves. And in that mirror, I began to see how often I was driven by fear. The fear of not being enough, of disappointing others, of losing control. Socrates once stood trial, accused of corrupting the youth with his ideas. Offered the chance to escape death, he refused, choosing truth over comfort. That, to me, is the essence of a meaningful life. Not safety, but alignment with truth, even if it costs you everything. So what does this mean for you? It means the most courageous thing you can do isn't to conquer the world. It's to pause, to question your beliefs, to reflect on your choices, and to ask yourself sincerely, is this the life I want to live? We chase achievements thinking they will bring peace, but peace doesn't come from what we attain. It comes from knowing who we are. Socrates stripped away the noise of society and invited people back to their core, not to impress the world, but to understand themselves. I invite you, just for a moment, to do the same. Close your eyes, breathe, and ask, what have I been running from? What do I really value? What kind of life would I live if I weren't afraid? When you start living from that space of awareness, everything changes. Your priorities shift, your relationships deepen, your life becomes less about proving and more about being. Socrates drank the poison not with regret, but with acceptance, because he knew to live truthfully, even for a moment, is more fulfilling than to live falsely for a lifetime. So I leave you with this. You don't need to be a philosopher to be wise. You only need to ask the right questions and have the courage to listen to the answers within. And remember, a quiet mind sees clearly. If this touched your heart, subscribe for more mindful reflections. What would you ask Socrates if you could sit with him today? Share in the comments.